How's it, Aloha gang, and welcome to High Now Daily. I'm Kainoa Carlson. Today we focus the efforts of High Now here on the island of Maui. As today we bring you the entire show live from the Royal Lahaina Resort and Bungalows. Before beginning today's show, we reflect now on a year since Hawaii and Lahaina were changed forever. We send our utmost aloha, our sincere prayers to those in the community who continue to grieve today. But also today, we meet with the people, the nonprofit organizations who have really aided in the recovery and the kokua efforts as we move forward. With that being said, we want to bring in Kukui, Keahi, and Dustin Kale'opu, part of the Kako'o Maui Resource Center from the Council for Native Hawaiian Advancement. Kukui, Dustin, mahalo for being here. Now tell us about the Kako'o Maui Center, the Resource Center in Kahului, and what's being done.
The Kako'o Maui Resource Center was built based on a kahea to help those that needed any sort of help from beginning from FEMA to now we're at rebuild. So it's just a wraparound center that provides resources and services. And if we don't have the answer, we provide the resource for you to have the answers to get what you need done.
Mahalo for that. And in addition to the resource center that's available, a distribution one as well, Dustin. And over here, there's home kits, different things that people can utilize and basically move into new places, correct?
Correct. So we started as a partnership with the County of Maui, providing short-term supplies, food, water, clothing, the immediate needs. Now we've moved to long-term supplies, which includes, furniture, getting people into intermediate housing. We've been able to help 9,000 individuals, 430 homes we've been able to furnish.
Now, Dustin, in terms of the distribution center, are we continuing to look for donations? We need more products and things coming to the distribution center. What's needed right now if people want to kokua and come out there and support?
Yeah, so, like I said, we started with short-term supply, long-term, now we're focusing on rebuild. So being able to get more building supplies, we went through the impact zone today and we saw just a handful of homes being rebuilt, not enough. And that's because people can't necessarily afford to do that. People are looking at $1 to $1.2 million to rebuild their homes to a safe, livable structure. And that's what we need help with, is getting those building supplies for those families.
Kukui, I want to transition back over to you now. Dustin touched on it just a bit right there about the cost that's associated with some of the rebuilds. So what are we seeing currently right now?
So currently we are one of the most underinsured disasters that have happened, and the average family that actually had insurance only had about 400,000, so 300 to 500,000 was the average. But a majority of our town didn't have insurance, and there's a lot to start from the bottom again and rebuild. And they're looking at anywhere from $350 to $400 per square foot to rebuild. And he mentioned to get to where we need to be safe again is over $1 million. So that's a lot of money to try to rebuild. So any kokua we can get, whether it be kala and or the actual resources, the building materials, that would be greatly appreciated and needed for our town to rebuild.
Mm-hmm. Now again, CNHA, Kako'o Maui, the Resource Center, extensions from the Council for Native Hawaiian Advancement, and then specifically for you two as well, being born and raised in Lahaina. Dustin, I want to start with you, just reflecting on the last year, where we're standing now, how it's been for you folks and how you folks are looking to continue moving forward.
Yeah, it's definitely been a marathon trying to get people back home. Like I said, we drove through the impact zone today, and being able to slow down, take time to reflect. We don't want to focus on the pain that the community's had, but the triumphs that we've had to see people rebuilding and returning home to their land.
Kukui, how about you? We were talking a little bit earlier, many of the staff that is part of the Kako'o Maui Lahaina people, helping so many families, much of whom you must have had personal connections with. What has this year been like being a part of the Resource Center, interacting with ʻohana who have been impacted as everyone looks to kokua and move forward?
I think I can speak on behalf of my entire staff. It's been an honor. There's nothing better else that we could imagine ourselves being to help rebuild, to help heal. And I made a comment before that in order for us to heal, we have to heal our community at the same time. It's the community that raised us. So to give back and come back together and rise together is the biggest honor that we could all possibly have.
Kukui, Dustin, mahalo nui so much, and for all of the work you folks are continuing to do at Kako'o Maui. And again, that's one of the unbelievable things that comes from the situation. People who were impacted personally continuing to show up and go to work every day and help other ʻohana in the process. That's going to do it for us for now. Rachel, we're going to send it over to you.
Thanks so much, Kainoa. I am sitting down right now with Ashley Hogue, who is with Maui Relief Group, and she's also an ambassador with Chef Hui. Thank you so much for being with me today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Well, obviously you have a box in front of us. This is the produce box that you guys have been giving out this last year, which is so greatly appreciated from here in the community. But let's talk a little bit about Maui Relief Group, how you got your start and how it kind of just transformed into Chef Hui.
Absolutely. So the Maui Disaster Relief Group group, it started actually back in Hurricane Lane, so by a couple of community members, Jen Mather, Ashley Webb, Diana Tavega, and they started this just to be an online place that people could actually find disaster relief resources, right? So when the fires came around this year, I am one of the admins that helps them. I heard nothing from anybody, and I was the only one that was seeing all these posts come through, all these comments go through, and it was time to get into action. And it was something that I had to help and step up to do. So I did that. Our very first actual job task was making sure that we could connect all of the hubs. So right after you saw all these, what they call Kanaka Costco's pop up on every corner, and our job really was to make that onto one place where people could find and access their resources. So that's really how we got started. We just like to connect everybody to the community resources that they can find.
Very cool. You said you are a farmer, right?
Yes.
And that's why you were so passionate about bringing produce and meals to people. So you partnered with Chef Hui. You are an ambassador with them. And then what was that like? You guys distributed, what, over 35,000 hot meals? And then how many of these boxes went out?
Yeah, so in the beginning we saw the hot meals go out, and then we really saw Puka really open up where people that didn't have access to a car or didn't have an ID were really getting limited and actually accessing resources. So on our side of the group, we tried to find different nonprofits, and we did a lot of interviews with a lot of them, and then Chef Hui really stepped up, thanks to Chef the Damn Donut. She's amazing. She connected me with Chef Hui, and Chef Hui now sponsored these boxes for us with Island Fresh. Ever since then, we have volunteer drivers. They're just community members. I shouldn't say just, but they have been really driving these to everybody's curbside at their house, because we did see that there was people getting boxes of food and hot meals, but not actual fresh produce. So now our farmers are being supported on Maui with these boxes, and then the community members can have access to fresh food, and it's just been a blessing.
That's amazing. Like you said, they're not just volunteers. This is their own gas. This is their own time. This is all volunteer work. Any money that comes in towards Chef Hui, it goes straight to the boxes, because the farmers need to be growing all the produce to be giving out, correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so, you know, as we continue to support Maui, what is like the best way when it comes to Chef Hui and what you're doing with Maui Relief Group?
Absolutely. So anything that anybody can sponsor Chef Hui, if you are financially able to, it does go straight to these farmers. If you're more of a, I want to get involved and actually be a driver, we're always looking for new volunteers. People's work schedules change, and this program we hope to go on for quite a long time. Our group goes back to 2018, and so there's going to be future disasters. It's not something that we're going away from, and we're just here to actually connect our community in any way possible that we can, because there's always going to be a need.
Yes, absolutely. And you know, while we're here, I wanted to mention, you know, being here at Royal Lahaina Resort and Bungalows, you guys distributed a lot of boxes and produce and meals here as well. I know that it was the first resort to open up and actually house the families, 526 families actually, and over 1,000 of our people here that who have been displaced here because of the Lahaina fire. So just being here is so special, and to know that you guys were here every day and continue to do so is very, very special to hear.
Absolutely, absolutely. Our drivers do deliver a lot of these boxes to the hotel. There's people that are still staying in the hotels, and people to be able to have salads is something that they just wanted. They just wanted to have fresh food. So our drivers are still delivering to everybody that is displaced. I mean, these boxes go up to Haiku, out to Kihei, Wailuku, everywhere on the island. Our drivers each have a route, and they drop off at their door.
Beautiful.
So always a need.
Thank you so much for your work, and we're going to have all the information on our website, hainaudaily.com, but also take a look at Chef Hui and become friends with them, Maui Relief Group on Facebook as well. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with more of Hainau Daily here on Maui.
How's it, aloha gang, and welcome back to High Now Daily. We are live here again at the Royal Lahaina Resort and Bungalows, continuing to put the efforts for today's show, highlighting Maui and the recovery efforts continuing to move forward here. We want to welcome in Lisa Vares of Vares Contracting. Mahalo for being here, Lisa.
Thank you, Kainoa.
Thank you for being here and all the work that is continuing to take place over here on the Valley Isle. But I do want to start with the fact that with Vares Contracting, there's a very special relationship as part of the emergency response that takes place here on Maui as well, correct?
Yes, we're one of the civilian contractors that the Maui Fire Department relies on for large-scale fire events. The resources that we can bring for the fire department would be like dozers to cut fire breaks, excavators to move things out of the way, and water trucks to bring water to the site for either helicopter drops or for more tankers.
So as soon as things are happening and taking place, is that a normal, I guess, relationship to have with contracting companies being so close with some of the emergency response that takes place?
It actually is on Maui. You know, it's a small island. We've got a lot of land, a lot of rugged, remote terrain, and the fire department and the local contractors work seamlessly together.
So, Lisa, let's talk about the fact that where we're currently at right now, because as we sit here 1 year, continuing to reflect and recover and rebuild, what is Vares Contracting continuing to do to help the recovery effort?
Well, we're actually working on the prevention side of things and also the response side as well.
Okay.
So from the prevention side, we create fire breaks around people's properties or around, you know, large structures like the power plant, the Maui power plant, to create defensible space around land or around a property so that the firefighters have somewhere to access in case of fire. And then also, if there is a fire coming at your property, if you're able to remove the ladder fuel, you may actually avoid it altogether.
So I think, and I do want to reiterate with what you just said, that actually there is things people can do right now, right? Because prevention is a big key part of it. Like, there's certain things, if people are able to get in touch with contractors, that we can help kind of mitigate maybe certain risks. Right,
exactly. Like MEMA and HAIMA and FEMA recommend having a hurricane kit during hurricane season. During fire season, we all recommend start taking care of your property, start cutting back all of your overgrown vegetation. Reach out to a contractor that can help you with it, because a lot of this is really very tangled, rugged terrain, and you need specialty equipment. But once a contractor actually gets in there and can clear that for you the first time, you can handle it from here.
Okay, Lisa, what is your message out there to viewers here today as we sit now 1 year later, August 8th for 2024, as the community looks to continue moving forward?
That something like this happening again is not inevitable, and that there are ways to mitigate the hazard around your property, and that there are things that you can do. You're not helpless. You can actually make a difference in if your property is safe.
Lisa, mahalo so much, and thank you for spending time with us today.
Thank you.
And again, we're going to continue meeting community members and organizations who have come together to help rebuild and recover. Rachel, we'll send it over to you.
Yes, exactly, Kainoa, and that's why I'm sitting down here with Pamela Tsumpap. She is the president of the Maui Chamber of Commerce. Thank you so much for being here with me.
Thank you so much, Rachel.
Yes, you know, when you think of the Maui Chamber of Commerce, it really is an organization of businesses from all sectors coming together to support the people, of course, the businesses, but in general, it just uplifts the community, yeah?
It does.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit.
Our economy.
Exactly, our economy. So let's talk about how you folks were able to support these small businesses, because, I mean, support was coming from all areas, right?
What was so amazing is that we had hundreds of calls starting to come in immediately. First thing on Monday, but actually they'd already started to come in over the weekend. And what people often don't realize in Hawaii, because we have such a big visitor industry, on the mainland in many towns, your local chamber might be your visitors bureau as well. So we were getting business calls of businesses who wanted to help. We were getting people who wanted to make donations, and we were flooded with calls. And at the same time, we're also trying to call out and connect with our businesses in West Maui and check in with our businesses on how they're doing. And of course, here in West Maui, the communications were down. People were climbing up to the mountaintops or driving up to the mountaintops to get a hold of us. So it was a really challenging time very early on. And then next, as we continue to focus on that and direct people on how to give or where to make different kinds of donations, other ways they might be able to help, and work on businesses who were seeking different kinds of help and what they needed most. Then we started to focus on how we could start helping get critical services back up. And some of the things that happened very early on, a lot of people couldn't come back into the area. And so many businesses were worried, is the business standing? Is it not standing? We were trying to help report on what was occurring and also get businesses back in.
Right.
And one business that even the owner thought had burned down, which was Island Grocery, actually had survived. And then the next issue was keeping it running to get gas in the generators so that everything wouldn't spoil. And so we were working with different businesses on their specific needs. Long's Drugs, who had some damage but could operate and wanted to get their pharmacy back up, make sure the critical services were up and established. So we were doing that kind of work. And then police officers were finding, as they were going through things, they might find a vault or they might find a safe. And you mentioned, we were talking earlier about Wyland, and I had a chance to reach out to Wyland, who got back in touch with me to let him know his safe had been found. And so we were helping people get back out, identify, the police didn't know how to reach the businesses, and we were helping do that.
Yeah, and it was like a lot of support coming from all angles. You were working with so many different nonprofits, or with FEMA, and everybody coming together. It was a collaboration.
It was a great collaboration. Some of the first things we did was Lahaina Town Action Committee, who was here on the side, said, they were working with businesses, reached out to us. We started doing listening sessions with legislators in partnership with them and with the House Select Committee that was established to identify needs of businesses. We started doing listening sessions with the SBA and with FEMA to say how they could help, and making sure that businesses were aware of all the services available, connecting them with the nonprofits, with the SBA, with FEMA, making sure that people who were meeting with FEMA also got access to interpreters. Many kept saying, oh, we're sharing these services and they understand. And I said, they're nodding their head doesn't mean they understand. It means they're being polite. We need to have you offer them the interpreters that you have right here. And so we were teaching them a little bit, some of the agencies, a little bit about our culture, as well as finding that when people were not getting the services they needed, looking at the workarounds and trying to figure out the systems. And go ahead.
Yeah, no, on your website, you guys have a whole list of ways that they can get help, right? Whether it's small businesses out there that need some support. Could you share that website with us?
Yes, our website is very simple, mauichamber.com.
Wow, all right.
Lots of resources. Still, the SBA EIDL loan has been extended for those indirectly impacted now to November 9th from May. And we know MEO still has money for very small businesses to help them pivot. So we can help connect them with that. And what we do is anything a business needs. The Chamber is there to help them and respond.
Well, you heard it from Pamela here. They are here to help. So go ahead and check out their website. All the information is there, and we're going to have it on ours as well, HiNowDaily.com. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
How's it, Aloha gang, and welcome back to High Now Daily. We are live here on the island of Maui at the Royal Lahaina Resort and Bungalows, joined right now by Chef Joy Makadang. Dang, welcome in, Chef.
Hi.
Mahalo nui for being here, Chef.
Thank you.
Now,
nice to have me.
We're going to go into all of the restaurants and all of the amazing food that is on this table, but I want you to tell our viewers out there about just 1 year ago as a chef. Things are changing, things are happening, and your immediate response kind of to all of it is, as a chef, you just go out and you start making meals and feeding the community.
Right. When everybody evacuated, like us, and I told my family to, let's just go to Napili Plaza at Joey's Kitchen and just hang in there. And when we got there, it was just pitch black because nobody was, didn't have any food. So we ended up cooking for the entire everybody, pretty much whoever was in the parking lot, and started from there and started feeding for 21 days.
Wow. So at that point, Chef, I mean, so many meals you came together to help support the community at that time. It would have been easy at that time to kind of just take a second to not work, but you, what was going through your head as you just kind of came together with the family and you just said, all right, let's do this and let's do it now?
No, it's just, it just came in you. There's no, say what we're gonna do. We just went and did it. My wife started the breakfast in the morning while I was going to Lahaina and trying to find out if my house still standing. But when I get back at the restaurant, she was already feeding everybody with Spam, fried rice, and scrambled eggs.
Unbelievable.
And there's
we don't know
line
if
of
there's
people.
a house still in
We didn't know. We didn't know if there's a house still there.
That is unbelievable, Chef.
So, so we continued doing that, and the community just came together and keep bringing products in the back of our restaurants. Generators, gas, I mean, you name it. They were just, restaurants are closing, bringing their products to us, so we'll cook it so we can feed the families.
That's unbelievable.
Feed the people.
And yeah. Chef, from that now, you go from that situation to where we're at now with Balai Pata. We have so much good food, Chef, and this is from the new restaurant, right? Can you walk us through? What are we looking at over here?
So this is the Pata, obviously. This is what we call Balai Pata.
What is Balai Pata?
Balai is a house, and Pata is a feet or a ham.
Are you hearing the scorch right there on that crispiness? I may or may not be sharing that later. Maybe I'll just take that down myself. What else we got?
And then we have a pork sisig that's with the lettuce, so you put it on there kind of like a lettuce wrap. And we have the malunggay noodles.
Wow.
That is with garlic.
Yummy.
And butter.
Okay, look at that.
And then we got the adobo fried rice on the side.
Adobo fried rice. This one
and
I know
this
looks
is
like
pork.
lumpia.
Yeah, pork and shrimp lumpia.
Okay.
With the sausawan, with just a little slight sweet vinegar.
Thing is so crunchy, Chef. What else?
And then we have a sinigang curry noodle with kampachi on top of that. We have a pinakbet and chicharrones. If you guys don't know, pinakbet is basically a vegetable stew.
Yeah. And if you don't know, you're missing out. You gotta go down and check them out over there. Make it happen.
And we got shrimp pancit and our famous short ribs at Joey's Kitchen.
This is all. I mean, the spread over here is so fantastic. Chef arrived over here. All the guests were asking, "Can we eat?" So, Chef, one last question though for you. I mean, you go from 1 year now from the situation then to now opening up a new restaurant. What kept you going this whole time?
It's just because I have a lot of staff that was. Displays and needed a place to work. Palaipata was already ongoing to open up a restaurant, so I decided to take them with me and open up restaurants after October of 2023. And
now it's here.
Now it's here. So please come down to the restaurant and support our, us, local community, and businesses here on the island.
Chef Joy, thank you so much for the time. And thank you so much for feeding the community at this time and continuing. Make sure you check out Balai Pata. Rachel, I'm going to save some for you, I promise. We'll send it over to you. Thanks, Chef.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. I'm sitting down here with Kit Furukawa, who is with the Maui Filipino Chamber of Commerce and the Japanese Cultural Society of Maui as well. You're also a business owner yourself.
I am.
Maui Chili Oil.
Yes.
Wow.
Wearing so many hats, that's how we do it. We wear so many hats, get everything done.
Yes, well, I can't think of a more perfect person to wear all these hats and do what you folks are doing in the community. Let's start and talk story about the way that everyone kind of copes with things in different ways and how you folks were able to support the community through that, especially the Filipino and the Japanese community.
Right. Well, when the fires happened, the immigration community was largely affected. Filipinos, our Mexican community, our Japanese community. So we would just want to make sure that they're not left behind in the recovery process. I don't know, we're coming off from Chef Joey's segment, so the way I cope with grief is I eat. And he has, Chef Joey has fed his community, took care of his community even before the fires. For the Filipino community, we cope differently in different ways in our own language and not just the spoken language. We are a religious community, we pray. Some of our manongs and manangs, we garden, we talk story with our family, we travel, we pivot for our business owners that have been affected. That's main thing, you gotta keep going, whatever it takes. Whether you moved off island or looked for a different venue elsewhere for your business or a different warehouse.
Right.
And that's what we have been seeing. It's tough. It's been tough. It's still tough. But we're coping, we're coping differently.
Yeah, you were saying coping differently, but I know one thing is that people love to come together. And you were telling me that there's some events and it's all about bringing the people together because that's a great way to heal, right?
Absolutely. Right after the fires, we created these events, these resource fairs that drew thousands in the Filipino community, and not just in the Filipino community, but we made sure that, they see people who look like them and offer the services in their language and make sure to help them take advantage of the different resources out there for them. This coming Saturday is Lahaina Obon. We're bringing the community together. It's being put together by the churches that burned, Lahaina Hongwanji, Lahaina Jodomishi, Lahaina Shingon. And we're gonna dance, It's a way to cope. Obon, as you know, is commemoration of our loved ones, remembering our loved ones. It's just the perfect event to bring the community together. We're gonna have games for the keiki, we're gonna have some food, and we're just gonna have a good time and talk story with the community. So we're excited. This Saturday.
So make sure you go ahead and check that out. Also, before we go, I wanted to touch upon your shirt, Kaibigan ng
Oh my gosh,
Lahaina.
I'm so proud of my friends. This is a newly minted nonprofit here in Lahaina, put together by survivors of the fires, my Filipino friends. They are doing great work. In addition to other organizations, Tagnawa for Maui, Binhiat Ani, Philippine Nurses Association, they've just been on the ground and making sure the recovery process is continuous. Kaibigan ng Lahaina has worked with us, Maui Filipino Chamber of Commerce, and other organizations. We're going to put together more resources for the community. So that's up and coming. Please watch out for it. Our biggest challenge has always been capacity. We're looking for volunteers. We're looking for folks who can devote time. As volunteers ourselves, we have our business owners, we're professionals. So we're trying to make do with what we can. Yeah, but I just want to give them a shout out. That's why I wore this shirt.
Shout out to these guys. And maraming salamat po for joining me today. Of course, we're going to take a break, but stay with us because we'll be back with more from Royal Lahaina Resort and Bungalows. Thank you so much for being here.
How's it, Aloha gang, and welcome back to High Now Daily. We're back here live at the Royal Lahaina Resort and Bungalows, joined right now by Jennifer Karaja of the Common Ground Collective. Welcome into the show, Jen.
Thank you so much for having me.
Mahalo for being here and for all the work you folks are doing. Now, as Common Ground Collective, you folks are a nonprofit. Tell our viewers about the work you folks are currently doing.
So we work with food security and economic opportunity for residents. So we do everything from harvesting food from people's backyards, getting out to the community, donating food, purchasing food from farmers, helping me make market connections, and then we grow food in a community garden, along with a bunch of fire support with like purchasing food for the hubs, food boxes, and we started out doing hot meals the day after the fire.
Yeah, and so I was just going to ask about that. How have the services kind of been navigated since August 8th of last year?
Yeah, so we started at the college and we did hot meals there till like the first week of October. We helped World Central Kitchen with purchasing and procurement to ensure that our farmers and things had markets for their produce and products to go to, and then we've been supporting the hubs since the beginning, and we do about $90,000 worth of food purchasing for them each month. We were doing food boxes at the college until mid-July, and we're transferring to kind of help them set up a hub there. So looking to find ways to help coordinate and advocate for more infrastructure that's long-term to help people, and then also to help prevent kind of the gaps that we saw in this disaster and the future disasters that we might have.
Yeah, and a big portion of that is going to come down to community efforts, partnerships, and collaborations. Are you folks currently looking at that as well as everything continues to move forward?
Yeah, actually we help spearhead the emergency feeding task force, where we work with multiple groups that were involved in feeding, nonprofits and things like that, to kind of find out where the gaps, the issues were, and then make recommendations on how we can better serve our community in the future and be more coordinated as a whole, so that we just don't kind of experience some of the things that we went through, and also don't have diminished capacities, because a lot of our nonprofits have been working so hard for the last year that you know, they're struggling, and so yes, it's really still needed, and then we also have to think about the future too, so helping coordinate that is a big thing that we've been doing.
And as we do that, what type of support is needed? How do people who are watching this right now help support the effort? Again, so many nonprofits are coming together to continue to support one another, but what type of help does Common Ground need right now, and how do people do it?
Yeah, for us, it's like many nonprofits. We're looking for funding. We look for volunteers to help, and then also just help with people sharing their story to help us learn what was missing, so we can help relay that through the Emergency Feeding Task Force. You can visit our website at commongroundcollective.com. We've got donate pages and a place to sign up and volunteer, and you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook at CGC Maui.
Gotcha. Jennifer, mahalo nui for the time and for all the work Common Ground is continuing.
Thank you so much.
That's going to do it for us for right now. Rachel, we'll send it over to you.
Thanks so much, Kainoa. I'm sitting down right now with Dwayne Sparkman. He is of Treecovery, which essentially is helping our trees come back to life, specifically the banyan tree here in Lahaina. Thank you so much for sitting down with me today.
Thank you for giving us time.
Yes, you know, you are also the chief engineer here at the Royal Lahaina Resort and Bungalow, so you take care of a lot of things, right?
Yes, I do.
Let's talk about the tree recovery and what you folks do and what you guys are doing out there.
So it's amazing. Originally, right after the fire, we became the kind of the group to go in and look and assess trees as a second opinion for homeowners. We also had a chance to look at the banyan tree and figure out how are we going to fix this thing. You know, we weren't sure of how much was going to survive. We started putting in sensors, we started checking sap, we started checking roots, and we discovered that there was a lot of life in there. Certain sections didn't have any life. So now those sections have been removed. If you haven't seen it, half of the tree is gone. 50% of that tree has been removed, and it needed to be removed. It was being attacked by borer beetles, which would have just gone through the entire living portion of the tree and caused more havoc. So we had to remove the dead portions and then chemically treat the tree to fight off these bugs. It's a necessary step. We also did a lot of organic inputs by adding lots of live microbes into the system to allow this tree to uptake nutrient. It needed it. When you have that much heat, soil becomes hydrophobic. Water will not penetrate which means a lot of your microbial life is dead.
Yeah.
We had to bring that back. And so the team started aerating. The guys came in from Prometheus and aerated immediately. We brought in Chrissy Monty, started putting in the compost teas, and then we saw the tree started coming back to life. And right now, 50% of that tree is really flushing out well. It's still 56 feet tall in the portions that are alive, although, like I said, half of the tree is almost down to the ground.
Wow. Well, the tree is thriving now thanks to you guys. You were mentioning that you guys were cutting off little portions of it and you were sending it out into the community. You had 20 that are out there?
So right now we have 10.
Okay, 10.
We have permission to pull 20 more.
Got it.
So 10 of them, we have, most of them are in nurseries. Right now we have one in the Marriott Ocean Club and one is going into the Western Maui today.
Yes.
These are a live specimen of the living banyan tree. So it is actually part of Lahaina banyan tree. No one can go down to Front Street and see the tree. We're bringing the tree to the people. So we want people to be able to see it inside the resorts because we get a lot of questions. All the people down there at the actual checkpoints are getting, can we please go see the banyan tree? And unfortunately, no, you cannot. It's still a burn zone. It's still a construction zone. It's a destruction zone. We're dealing with that right now. Which the good part is you can go see a live specimen. And so we're bringing that to the people.
Beautiful. And you know, we just have a couple of seconds left, but I want you to tell everybody about these trees behind us. Some of them already kaput, but it's for Lahaina families.
Yes, families. So the trees you see around us right now are grown. We purchased these trees 3 to 4 months ago. We've potted them into larger pots. Some of them actually have names on them of the people that they belong to, which is really cool. They own them already. They can come see these in these hotels. We put them in hotels because a lot of the people that were affected, they're employees. That's where they work. And so if they can see their trees being grown at their place of business, wow. Right? They can actually watch their tree grow. And so that brings it all full circle in the healing portion.
Absolutely. And if people are interested, Lahaina families who have been affected are interested in having some of these plants in their yards.
Yes.
All they have to do is go to treecoveryhawaii.com, correct?
Treecoveryhawaii.org. Yes, we're even more fancy, right?
More fancy.
So you just go onto that website, hit select a tree or request a tree, and fill out our survey.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dwayne, for sitting
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Go ahead and check them out. Get yourself a tree. All right. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Awesome.
How's it, aloha gang, and welcome back to High Now Daily. We're back live over here at the Royal Lahaina Resort and Bungalows, continuing to meet with people as we rebuild and recover, reflecting on the last year. We want to welcome in right now Scott Hopkins, and actually right now, before we get into our interview, we're going to do a moment of silence as it's 3:45 and conch shells are blowing over here in Maui, so we're going to take a moment. Mahalo nui. Again, reflecting now on what the last 365 days have been like here. Feed My Sheep is a nonprofit coming up on celebrating 25 years. Tell us about the organization.
Well, Feed My Sheep is people of the community working together to feed the hungry in body, mind, and spirit. Our goal with the organization is to be able to provide food for people in need, and we focus on nutritious food. There's just lots of evidence that when people are in need and they're at or near poverty, that income affects their health because it affects the food they can purchase. And so what we try to do is provide fresh produce every week and a lot of items that are, low in preservatives and salt and all the healthy stuff that's going to help someone who is struggling to be able to recover. And we offer 4 sites where we offer this food every single week. And one of them since 2004 has been our Lahaina community distribution site, which has been right in Lahaina town up until a year ago.
Right. And so how have the services changed since then, and what type of services do you folks need and support from the community is Feed My Sheep looking for?
All right, well, Feed My Sheep, actually one of the things we do is focus on being emergency prepared. So we did have some resources. In the first few weeks, we're trying to work with everybody else to address all that chaos that was going on and get food where it needed to be. We were very fortunate to have some people from the EOC provide a way for us to bring emergency supplies that very next day. But since then, we've been working on getting a regular, recurring food hub set up. That took a couple weeks, and we have been in Lahaina once again since August 31st. We were over at the Kana Gateway Shopping Center, then now we're currently at Citizens Church, where people can come every Thursday and get food between 10 and noon.
Thank you very much for the time. And for more information about Feed My Sheep as well, you can head to our website, hignowdaily.com. Scott, thank you very much. And again, conch shells are continuing to sound here as we reflect on the 1 year. Rachel, we'll send it over to you.
Thanks so much, Kaino. In fact, with that being said, we are going to take a moment of silence so that we can respect the ʻohana here. It has been a very emotional year. It has been. And as I sit here with you, Miguel Solis, he is the head of school at Maui Prep Academy. Thank you so much for sitting down with me today and being with me in this moment of silence here for Maui. So much to talk about today.
Yes.
The relief efforts, talking about how you folks at your school are using, education to heal. Tell me a little bit about what you folks are doing there.
Thank you for inviting me tonight. It's definitely a very important moment in our school's history and in our island's history. Yes, Maui Prep was very much a part of the relief efforts. A year ago tonight, our principal, myself, the Board of Trustees, and so many students, alumni, and so many community members were up there helping families who were in need, who were swimming in the waters, and just helping in every which way just to make sure that we would survive the night. And it was a scary moment, but we were there. We were a beacon of hope for so many community members. And immediately thereafter, we were able to help out with distribution, as so many families then left to the other side in Wailuku and went through that horrific situation in through Lahaina. Immediately afterwards, my son said, after so many days, Daddy, we need to open up the school, because we were ready to open up. And so with so very many people from the admissions department, the administrators, the Board of Trustees, and so many families, we had over 1,000 applicants, but we could only take 140. So at the beginning of the school year, we started strong with 400 students. And despite them not being able to pay because we're a private school, we were able to secure some funds to help them out. But we still need the help. We still need help because this is going to be a long haul, and so many of our students are going to need that. And we still have students knocking on our doors saying, can I come into Maui Prep? And so I'm asking the community if they can now be a beacon for so many of our students at Maui Prep that want to go to that school, because it's very difficult to sustain that, you know, and the way that we do education there at our school. So go to mauiprep.org/giving to donate and help out our school and help out those students in need.
Yes, thank you so much for joining me today. I know that you brought some art today. This is from the students who are coming through the Maui Prep Academy. So please, as we go to break, take a look at all the incredible work that they're doing. And if you can, please support them so that they can continue to let those students in, so that they can use education as a way to heal. We're going to take a quick break.
Mahalo.
You're watching Hainao Daily. We'll be right back.
How's it, aloha gang, and welcome back to Hainao Daily. Again, we're live over here at the Royal Lahaina Resort and Bungalows, welcoming in our next guest. This is Robert Jocelyn, president of the Hawaii Public Adjusters. And Robert, I want you to tell our viewers out there currently what's being done right now to help the community.
Well, we've taken a lot of information in. We help them understand what's going on. The insurance world is not the easiest thing to understand. So we essentially try and educate them to the best we can to make the right decisions.
Mm-hmm. And what are you folks hearing right now as we continue now 1 year later?
Well, we are still having some claims that are out there, and we're working harder and harder on those. We keep people focused on it. It's very hard when you keep having to look at your photographs of what you used to have, and so we help them with that. We have a team that works through the spreadsheets and works directly with the policyholder and with the insurance company, and we try and keep the insured out of the way. and just tell them to focus on the future.
Oftentimes, as you said, insurance is a difficult thing to navigate. So in terms of resources that are currently in place, offices that are available, what's the best way for people to contact you to get more information?
You can look at us on the web at www.hawaiipublicadjuster.com or give us a call at 808-856-3041.
And we also have an office located here on Island.
Yes,
correct?
we are on Island, been here 40 years in Wailuku.
All right, Robert, mahalo nui for the time. And we're going to have more information up on our website as well, hinowdaily.com. We're going to head to break and we'll be right back live from Maui. How's it, Aloha gang, and welcome back to High Now Daily. All show, Rachel and I have been live over here at the Royal Lahaina Resort and Bungalows, just reflecting on some incredible conversations. And at the same time, this resort in particular, actually the first resort in terms of everything that took place a year ago that served as a hub for many local people in the community.
Yeah, 526 families, over 1,000 residents of Lahaina. They housed them, brought them here, and it was really a hub and a resource center for many people. Whether they needed any medical attention, they had Kaiser Permanente here. They also opened their house, or opened the resort, I should say, to the Department of Education so that the kids can still get educated and still have things to do, get that tutoring in. So of course they were here every single day.
And then and in addition to all of that, obviously so many of the people who are part of the resort property, employees who are impacted themselves, continued despite unimaginable loss, losing homes, even in some cases loved ones, showing up to work the next day, coming here to still continue and support all the people in this community.
That's right, and I just feel so grateful to be from Hawaii. I'm so glad we had this moment here on Maui, here at the Lahaina resort that we're staying at here today, the Royal Lahaina. And my goodness, if you are out there and you're watching our show, please support the many nonprofits that came on the show today, because they sure need your help, and so does Maui. So please go ahead and support.
Continue to support, and we will continue to Kako'o Maui. Mahalo for watching High Now.